You're manifesting your ex back. And let me tell you something. I did a short on this, and I'm going to go a little deeper on this long video, okay? Longer version of this reading. So, how are you manifesting your ex back? For some of you, it may not be your ex. It may be that you're just calling in a new partner, okay? But I feel like whoever I'm speaking to has an intention, a very strong and very clear intention to have a new partner, okay, or to bring your ex back. And for those of you who are wanting their ex back, this is a good reading for you. If not, then keep scrolling, because basically I feel like the connection that you've had with your ex is someone worthwhile to actually to try to work it out, because I feel like both of you have needed to grow and needed time apart to grow. So this is not a bad connection, and some readings that there's a lot of toxic tendencies going on. In this connection, I don't feel that. And for those of you who are, manifesting, I really think you'll get a lot out of this reading, okay, if you're just calling in a partner. So let me just talk about manifesting. So manifesting to me still sounds like a lot of work, because basically you're not doing anything from the body mind. You're telling from your soul, you're telling your mind what it wants. You're giving your orders to the mind to create what you want, okay? So, but you're calling it in, and you are allowing it. You are not just saying, I want this, I want my ex back. You're intentionally magnetizing them back. And because we're all one, we're all connected, your ex is you pushed out, so, or your future partner is you. And so you're kind of programming your order. You're putting your order in. And so your ex is actually, it's not a manipulation technique. You're not manipulating. You're not doing a spell or anything like that. You're just saying, this is what I want. And so your thoughts and feelings are affecting that person. And this is affecting the outcome. So you're living in the outcome. So I did pull a few cards for, when I started the reading on the short, but I'm going to pull a few more cards, and I'm going to go over, because some of you may have not seen the short. But what I pulled, okay, this is definitely the Emperor. You're calling in the Emperor. But the first card that I pulled was the Magician. So this shows me clearly that you are manifesting, and you are manifesting something that is long-term, a long-term connection, commitment, something that's secure, and something that's going to be so much better than what you had. And you're projecting into the field, into the future, that this is a win. This is a total win. This is going to, and what happened, and the person I'm speaking to, you've been doing some releasing. You've been doing work on yourself. You just basically said enough of that, and you've been releasing the past. Because in order for you to have a successful relationship with your ex, you need to let go of the past. Because the past is only in the mind. It doesn't exist. The only way it exists is if you think about it. So this is deep, guys, because this is the crux of my work. Is I'm not just sitting here reading cards. I am actually tuning into something deeper at play here. And what it is when you are intentional, you set your intention, you have that bullet train will, that unstoppable will, that's going to completely call in what you want. And that energy is very magnetic, and it can move mountains. It can change anything, because the 3D is always changing, and it's constantly changing. So nothing is set in stone. So if you have a breakup, or you've had a breakup, it feels like the end of the world. It feels like it's set in stone, like nothing can ever change it, or you could never get back together. But that's simply not true. it just looks that way and it feels that way. So when you're releasing, you are releasing that locked in thoughts and feelings. Oh, it's never going to work out. It's gone forever. This person doesn't love me and never will. All those thoughts and feelings you have to release. So you are releasing those thoughts and feelings in order to create a new version of you that can be successful in this connection. And by doing that for yourself, guess what? That person can show up differently and things are possible. So you get the emperor, you call in your emperor who will show up in the movie of your life the way you want it to show up. And this is where people get stuck when I'm coaching them. I'm doing a reading, I'm doing energy clearing. They say, well, I can do all this work and I can shift, but that person, is who they are. They're not going to change. And so you're not believing your own possible manifestation. You're just thinking that they're just going to show up the same, and that's not true. Because when you shift, you have no idea how impactful that is on them and everybody else. So it's not a spell. It's not a manipulation. You're not doing anything from the ego. You're just calling in what you want from the soul, from your heart. And you don't know the how because the universe will figure out the how. So suddenly this person could be like, oh my God, I do love you. I do care about you. I do want to make this work. And so this is what I'm seeing. This is going to come to fruition. And again, if you are wanting to call in a partner, I feel like you have that same dynamic energy and that dynamic will that's calling this in. So, you've let go of judgment of yourself, and that's part of the releasing. Also, if you when you are in separation from someone, and I see this a lot in the readings where they say, well, is Joe and I going to get back together? And I said, well, how do you feel about this person? What are your feelings? Well, he's an avoidant. He's a dismissive avoidant. I'm an anxious attachment. So you're putting yourself in a box. You're putting them in a box, judging yourself, judging them. And what happens? Nothing, because it can't. They feel it, even if they're not conscious of you. Or they could be conscious that you're judging them and you're making them, wrong, then they have no room. They don't have any freedom. They don't have any room to show up differently and be your emperor and your knight in shining armor or your princess or queen, whatever. So that's the beauty of releasing. That's what I do in my work, is I help you release. What is it that's you're holding on to in your thoughts? Because your thoughts are keeping you limited and bound and suffering. And so you are, in this reading, I feel like you are releasing. You are letting go of the past. And now it's opening the field for this person to come in who was very turtle mode, very slow. And so now things are shifting because you're shifting, and the atoms are changing, everything's moving. So if this message resonates, this is your message. If you are curious about this, like, well, how do you do this? How can I get my ex back? There is a way, and I'm showing you the way right now. But at the same time, I'm doing a reading for somebody who I feel in the collective is doing this, maybe without even knowing that you're doing this. That's very powerful. Maybe you do. Maybe you're conscious of it. So I feel like this is going to be successful, and this is a certain kind of connection. Not everybody that is in separation should get back together, okay? But if you feel like this person, you truly, honestly, sincerely, and authentically love them, and maybe you feel like you made some mistakes or they made mistakes and you feel like it's worthwhile, then there is a way to to bring each other back, because you have to realize, and not only realize, but experience this, not intellectualize it, but experience that everyone is you. Your ex is a version of you. And so if you want you back, then you release the past, which is a tall order. You have to be in your highest self, which is your soul, and to release the past and release wanting to be right and to proving yourself right or proving yourself wrong, and do the work of releasing. And then you create this new version of yourself. You quantum leap. You live in the outcome. You don't know how, but it's kind of fun, because you're like, we'll see how it goes, right? But you're clear. This is what you want, and you will see miracles happen, and that person will come back. And if they don't, it will be someone else. But in the meantime, and usually they do, but in the meantime, you are going to fall in love with yourself, because you're going to have a much deeper and more satisfying relationship with you. And then you become a magnet to draw that person. So when you're releasing all the stuff that didn't work, all the tendencies. Maybe you were chasing, maybe you were begging for love, I've been down that road myself because of my childhood and my programming. I'm not blaming my parents when I'm saying I just have these tendencies that I have from childhood, from programs. And so I used to carry the relationship. I used to beg. I used to chase, all that stuff. Now, no way. Don't do it. What's mine will come to me. And so that's basically what you're doing, but you are giving the universe direction. You're putting your order in. You're like, this is what I want, and you allow it to come. And you just say, that's it, I allow it. And so manifesting, again, is a word that sounds like too much work. So I don't know what other word to describe it, but you are training the mind to create what you want. So that's pretty much what manifesting is. But you're coming from the soul. The soul is saying, I allow this to be so. Because guess what? You are everything that you're seeking. You think it's in your ex, and yes, you will get a fulfillment from it, but it won't last forever unless you have that foundation within, because you know, we are the perfect health, perfect wealth, perfect love. That is who we really are, but you have to experience it. Otherwise, it just stays in the intellect, and we're like, yeah, I know, I'm perfect health, perfect wealth, perfect love, but I'm still suffering because I feel like I don't have enough money, I don't have perfect health, and I don't have my boyfriend. So I'm unhappy. So then you're not really experiencing who you really are. So I'm talking in practical terms, that you can actually experience who you are. And actually that love that you're seeking, that you think is out there, is actually right here. And when you finally experience that, then you are so fulfilled that you're just this magnet that just draws it right away. And you're not coming from a sense of lack. You're not coming from separation. You're not practicing. See, that's another deep subject here, is that so many people that are in separation, that have broken up in a relationship, are practicing separation, and that's how they got in this mess in the first place. Why? Because they got triggered. They were triggered about, this person isn't meeting my needs, or they're just all these things. And so what are you doing when you're triggered? You're practicing separation. You're actually practicing what you don't want instead of what you want. And then all of a sudden you're broken up, and you're devastated because you've been practicing separation for so long, or both of you have been doing it. So the work that I do is I help you to stop doing that and release that tendency, so that you can have a wonderful, healthy relationship, first with yourself and then with someone else. So if this message resonates and you would like more support on either bringing your ex back or just calling in a partner, but first and foremost, having an amazing relationship with yourself, which will be the magnet to draw everything you want, then you can book a session with me, or just keep tuning into my content in the channel. All right. Thanks so much.